Hello and welcome back to Factorio Let's Play. This would be episode 4. And so yeah, let's load the game. This episode I'm gonna do a little bit of base cleanup. Specifically, I'm gonna go back and put this boiler back here again. Because that'll let us move these pipes back a little bit. So I'm gonna also do that. Let's see here, pipe and underground pipe, and I think we can get rid of that power safely. Oh, wrong way. Underground pipe, regular pipe. Excellent. I'm also going to move this steam engine back. Pretty sure I can do that. Yeah, because it's this little power pole is going to cover that steam engine anyway. Which lets me move these pipes back as well. Excellent. So, a little bit more compact. I realize I don't really need an extra pipe there once I've got 10 steam engines, because I can't really take any water out of there without affecting the steam engines negatively. And our inserters are being slow again. Why are they being slow? Because our iron is being slow. Why is our iron being so slow? It's all going into belts, isn't it? Alright, let's manually iron up the circuit board factory again. Because we're going to want to not run out of green bottles, even though we've got a pretty sizable overflow. So that's not really a big issue. What I do want to do is keep making fancy new steel furnaces, however. So we're going to make 4 more of those and start putting them in for the rest of our furnaces. Almost got our coal issues fixed. I'm going to go ahead and drop some of these green bottles. Kind of wish labs would just take bottles until they're full, instead of right now what they do is they take 2 and then stop taking more bottles. Then we wouldn't need a separate overflow chest, but I guess it kind of works out. You're doing great on coal. Once this chest fills up, we're gonna stop having issues with our coal along this belt, which it just filled up. Awesome! So as you can see, coal can now get through there again. So life is good. Got some more steel furnaces. I'm thinking I might put one in here and have like more, just to get more iron crafting. I might even move this over one and this furnace over one so I can have like a iron grabber, although that would not be good for this furnace. I guess I could move this furnace over as well. Anyway, let's do that. Get our belts going. And let's try moving this furnace over one without too adversely affecting our electricity. Which we will do by, oh, too many belts taken out. Let's see here, if I put that electricity there, Perfect. That seems to be working out. Now let's go ahead and move this factory over. Where'd that factory go? There's the factory. To here. Nope, that's where it was before. To here. And let's get some grabbers set up. Little deposit grabber. Chest for the resulting ammo. And we're gonna move this furnace up one. That's not actually gonna work on second thought because we want to keep it by the coal. Great. Well, that was kind of a waste. For now. It's not gonna be a waste when we get our upgraded furnaces, so I'm not too worried about that in the future. Actually, you know what we could do? We could just put this grabber here, and then put a grabber here, which will take overflow iron and put it into, and fittingly enough, an iron chest. Excellent. I'm actually going to start making some steel chests instead of iron chests. Those are even bigger, and that works out pretty well. Plus, another good thing about steel chests is they can are then used to make smart chests, which are used to make logistic chests, which are basically going to be all I use in the end game. So in the interests of not wasting too much iron on iron chests, which aren't used in anything, I'm going to try to avoid making too many of them. I'm also going to put this radar down, because it's been sitting in our inventory for some time now. Just throw it over here or something, I don't know. That'll go find stuff for us. Also, I'm finally going to put down these turrets. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but, you know, I'm actually going to do it this time. That's probably too many turrets for one area. Although I'm kind of worried about this as a possible attack avenue. See, until the first attack actually happens, I can't really get a solid feel for where the attacks are going to be coming from. Let's go with turret there. Actually, yeah, like, looks like here and here are going to be the main two attack avenues just because we walled off this area. So there shouldn't be anyone coming in through there. So I'm going to put the second turret over by here. Or I guess this would be the third turret. Now, as you can see, the turrets are flashing red and angry because they don't actually have any bullets to shoot. So let's go load them up with some bullets. Go 50 magazines worth in there. 39 in there, and another 39 here. And then we'll fill those out as more ammunition gets produced. Now, I'm also gonna, these steel furnaces I'm gonna put in for these furnaces, because that'll speed up our iron production, and ideally we won't have a lack of iron on this belt, which I'm using as a gauge for the health of our science bottle industry, seeing as how circuits are required. I wonder how much, what resources I need for pump jack. 10 electronic circuits, 10 pipe, okay. Pretty reasonable. We've got enough steel plates for pump jack. And I'm thinking about that in the future, because, well, I'm going to try to start my oil industry as soon as I can. And as soon as this research is done, I can start it. So I'm probably going to put like a pump jack on this little crude oil, even though these are the best ones. I'm probably going to put it on this one, actually. It's the best one by far. Seems to me. Yeah. Twice as good as this one, at least. And then I'm just going to have to figure out a good way. I guess I'll throw an oil refinery somewhere in this direction. And then just kind of pipe it under this belt. Although I kind of want to move this belt farther off this way so that I can put more copper smelters here. Okay, 29 steel plates. Let's make a steel furnace. That'll leave us with enough for the pump jack, which we will need. Hang on a sec. Oh yeah, no, this guy's getting coal. Okay. I'm also gonna put down another iron mine here, just to keep all three of these furnaces running. As you can see, this one is currently off. So I'm gonna manually put some ore in it for now, while I build another iron mine. To further exploit the natural resources of this surprisingly hospitable planet. You'll notice that I've researched armor, but I haven't actually made any yet. And that's mostly because, hey, look at that, we got oil processing. Now, the level 1 and 2 armor is alright, but it's not great. What I really want, and probably will use, is the modular armor, which comes from Armor Crafting 3. Now, that gives me, since it's modular armor, I can put stuff in it, like little armor modules, such as energy shields and batteries and portable solar panels and fun stuff like that. So I'm kind of just holding out for that. And also, now that we have oil processing, what do we want to research? Let's do lab efficiency. Gives a solid 20% boost to lab efficiency, and therefore research speed. So that's pretty helpful, especially early game. Yeah. Let's get that pump jack ready. And oil refinery is going to take another 15 steel. So let's build an oil refinery. What does a chemical plant need? More steel and more iron. Grab some iron plates. Grab some steel plates. Need one more steel plate till we can make a chemical refinery. Or a chemical plant. Yeah. Now, chemical plants are pretty helpful because they are what uses up the oil. So, I mean, I can mine all the crude that I want. It's not really going to help unless I've got a chemical plant to process it. So, let's see here. Yeah, let's have it face this way. And I'm not going to power it yet because it doesn't have a receptacle into which to put the oil. Chemical plant. Also going to make a bunch of pipe. We're going to need lots and lots of piping. And I'm going to start clearing a little space for our future petroleum industry. Very near future now. Excellent. Let's do let's put a refinery here. Nope, wait, needs to go over one. I'm gonna put it here because in the future, actually, wait, if I remember correctly, advanced oil processing, which uses water, takes water on this input and oil on this one. So I'm gonna move it back up one. It shouldn't really affect my abilities to process oil very much. We also need an underground pipe. There was a lot of steel in that chest, or iron in that chest. I'm gonna put some of it back. Underground pipe. Perfect. There we go. Now the underground pipe is going to go from here to there. And this guy's going to process crude. Like so. I'm actually going to turn off processing until I can get some piping laid in with the chemical plants, of which we're going to need at least 2 more. So hopefully there is enough steel for that. Excellent. Now I'm going to do... Where does what come out? Hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are probably the... So you got basic oil processing giving you... This is the hydrocarbon one. And yeah, let's stop wasting oil. They're going to come out of that side. Then we've got light oil coming out of this side and heavy oil coming out of this side. Light oil is pretty useless. Not entirely useless because it can be used for solid fuel, but that's about all it can be used for. And of course, after I research advanced oil processing, I can also use it or do like petroleum cracking to make hydrocarbons, which is good. That's always helpful. So for now, as you can see, all I can make is solid fuel and lubricant. So petroleum, oil, the hydrocarbon one, is going to be used for... First off, this one's going to make lubricants. Lubricants are not amazingly helpful, but they're helpful in that I can then use them for... what's the word I'm looking for here? Engines. You need lubricants to make engines. And then light oil I'm just going to turn into solid fuel for now. Build up a little bit of stockpile. Solid fuel is slightly more efficient than coal. Slightly more energy dense. Let's see here, I think it says... let's see here. So yeah, coal's got a fuel value of 8 megajoules, and if I remember it correctly, solid fuel's up at 20 megajoules of stored energy. So that's always helpful. Lubricants I'm going to save up in a giant barrel, which I cannot currently make because I need to research fluid handling. And then they're just going to keep getting saved up until I have enough of a production line that I'm making engines, which I'm currently not. Wonder why I have this extra belt sticking out here. Oh, right, to keep the gears on the right side. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, the increased efficiency of our steel furnaces is just driving my iron mining industry into chaos. So I might as well put down another electric drill somewhere around here, I think, and then just belt the ore around. There we go. Put it there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to belt it around. this way. Excellent. Now let's see if I can move this electrical pole over to here. I can. That works out very well. Then I can power all 3 mines. Probably should have started researching like fluid handling or plastics instead of lab efficiency now that I think about it. But I guess lab efficiency is one of those things you kind of want to grab earlier on so you can use it for the more critical research. And then build another lab, actually. One can never have too many labs. At least I've never run into the scenario where I've had too many labs. Especially with an overflow stockpile of over 200 science bottles. More labs means at least 1 long-handed inserter. Yeah, this guy can still grab green bottles straight from there. And I won't be able to fit another lab in this space, so I'm going to have to move that one down 1. In the meantime, probably should have made that long-hander first. And I now accidentally canceled it. Good job, me. Let's get some power for this lab and for its friendly inserter. Where's the long-hander? There's the long-hander. Actually, no, I can move this lab down 1. So if I've got the long-hander going here, for example, then I can put the lab there, and then still have, oh, the lab would have to go there, actually. And then I can have the short-hander grab, wow, this is working out surprisingly well with the positioning on the green bottle production. Yeah, so short-hander's going to be grabbing off a belt that's going to end up going to there. But hey, at least we're researching twice as fast. And there are currently not yet any enemy bases nearby, according to the radar, so that's good. Hey! And this little steel furnace is getting some use. That is excellent. You know what we should do? We should build some more walls. Lots of walls. I'm gonna try to specifically cover the turrets. It's cheaper to not replace turrets. And then I'm gonna start walling off key areas of interest, which mostly includes my entire factory. Just because once you have a curtain wall, you can just put your turrets there instead of having these little pillbox formations that I'm building right now. Interesting note, it doesn't really look like it because the turret's all short, but it can shoot over walls, as can your submachine gun and pistol. However, shotgun cannot shoot over walls. So, you know, take the good with the bad. Speaking of turrets, let's fill them all up with ammo. Might have grabbed a little bit too much ammo for the turrets, but oh well. Drop the excess off, because I don't need it. I'm also gonna put these science bottles to use in a lab. I'm gonna actually replace this steel chest with a wooden box, assuming I have one, which it appears that I do not. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these iron chests, put it in place of that wooden box, and do that. That way, once this guy fills up, I'm gonna have more iron plates going over, therefore more iron plates in my industry over here. So I don't have to manually maintain the level of iron plates in everything. I'm also gonna make a fast inserter for the wires that are going from here to here, because this slow one can barely keep up. Look at that. Something similar for this little slow inserter here. Fast inserters slightly overkill, but slow inserters slightly underkill, so yeah. Well, we've got a factory that's running like a well-oiled machine, more or less. I'm thinking about expanding my iron mining activities. Probably gonna go grab this guy. Although I'm tempted to go here. I don't want to exploit this yet because there's a bunch of trees on top of it mostly. And it's just gonna be an easier to exploit stockpile later. So let's start putting a mine down. Yoop. Just put one here and then maybe put a second one to cover this half. That should work out pretty well. Yeah, go something like that. Now, how are we gonna belt this ore? Actually, you know what we should do? I'm gonna do the ore processing on site, which is gonna be a little bit more time and space efficient, because then I just belt the produced iron plates over instead of belting a bunch of iron ore and stuff. However, that means I need to exploit one of these coal veins. I'm gonna exploit this one because this one's really close to the copper. Although, on the other hand, that's a pretty good reason to exploit it and then use the copper as well. Yeah, I'm gonna develop this one. It's gonna be a little easier to exploit that copper vein using this. I realize I've got a little bit less coal coverage by putting this thing here, but I want to get rid of these 3 faster than those 5, then I can just move it up a little bit. Want to move this belt over one more. Hey, lab efficiency 1. Let's do fluid handling. Then we do something like that to make a coal and iron belt. Now we're going to need to run lots of electricity. So let's make a bunch of electric poles again. I should probably automate electric pole production at some point, but I've never really particularly needed to. I mean, sure, it would be a little bit faster maybe if I wasn't doing the crafting, but honestly, like, if I need an electric pole, it's probably nowhere near my base, which means that running back to my base just to grab some electric poles is usually going to be less or more time intensive than just crafting them on the spot. There we go. Now we've got our little exploitation going on here. Let's make another steel furnace. Doing pretty good on grabbers. And then it's going to be belted out like so. Let's see here. Perfect. Now we just need some more power, and life is good. This is a pretty vulnerable position. I might wall this thing in. Like, I'm not too worried about like one mining drill like this one, but we've got like an actual production industry going on here, so I'm probably gonna wall that in. Also going to start belting this iron over. Not really sure where I'm gonna belt it to, however. Don't really have a specific place that needs it. Well, I guess I could just, like, grab some to belt over to here. Because this place kind of needs iron. Yeah, I'm thinking I might do that. I'm also gonna put down another electric drill on this coal because, as you can see, our last 3 boilers are unhappy, which means that this drill cannot keep up with the coal consumption of our steam plant. And perfect. Nope, can't do that. Can do that, however. Alright, I'm gonna start doing that walling that I mentioned earlier. And that's gonna lead to a very interesting logistical conundrum. I'm gonna actually put a 3rd furnace down there and start exploiting that iron vein completely with a 3rd mine right here for the simple purpose of, well, basically efficiency, I guess. I want to be able to put down a third furnace and not have to expand my walls later. So that's the goal here. Where's that third furnace? There it is. Put something like that together, and so whoop, need to belt this ore a little bit farther. Put a belt there, and a grabber, and a grabber. Now we're going to take out these 3 pieces of belt, and we're going to run it underground. I'm going to do something very similar with these 3 pieces of belt, which I just did backwards. There we go. And that is so we can build walls over it. Close but no cigar. Let's grab some more stone blocks to make some more walls. Actually, we've got plenty of stone blocks. Let's just make some more walls. Just make all the walls. Boom. Perfect. Walled in. Of course, it's not exactly ideal from a getting in point of view yet, because I don't yet have gates. That's probably going to be a upcoming research project of interest. And I'm just going to drop a turret in there. Grab some ammo for that turret. But I'm not really too worried about having to go in there. I'm going to actually drop 2 turrets in there. So I don't think I'm going to have a pressing need for getting inside of that little iron production zone. So I'm probably not gonna worry too much about it. Where'd those turrets go? Turret. Let's do one on this corner and one on this corner. Ammo. Ammo. Not quite sure what I'm gonna use that iron on yet. But I'm also going to research plastic. I'm sure a need will come up shortly. Also, let's make some storage tanks. Got plenty of steel, need some more iron for more storage tanks. So I'm going to have a storage tank for crude, which I am going to put right here. Then I'm going to have a storage tank for lube, which I am going to put right there. I'm going to put a storage tank for, ooh. This is interesting. Probably should have brought that, light oil refinery out a little farther. I'm just going to put the storage tank there. And then I'm going to put a pipe there, of course. I am going to do an underground pipe. I'm going to get some of this stuff out of my active use toolbar because I really don't need it there. Underground pipe is going to run straight to that tank so the refinery can keep functioning. And since I don't really want to waste all my petroleum gas on solid fuel right now, rather save it when I can use plastic, I am going to put a storage tank there as well. Now I just run a little bit of power to get my chemical plants working. These 2 can sit around and do nothing for now. So one thing that'll stop a refinery is if it's got too much of one of these. For example, like if earlier it had too much, I think it was too much heavy oil, so it stopped refining because the heavy oil tank was full. So in this case, now we've got petroleum going into this tank, light oil going into this tank, and the heavy oil getting converted to lubricant right away. I'm going to need to come up with a way to store that heavy oil too. We do have another storage tank, right? No, we do not. Let's make another storage tank. And I am going to do that via creative underground pipe use. That's not going to work because I already have an underground pipe going here. What if I don't really? Yeah, I'm gonna move some of the stuff around. Specifically, I'm just gonna move this, even though I just lost 53 units of lubricant. Yeah, why not? I'm just gonna put a storage tank there, and then the chemical plant is gonna come right off of the storage tank. And then this little power tower is going to move to here. Yeah, that'll work. And then the storage tank, which will eventually have heavy oil once the lubricant tank fills up. Since it's got, every storage tank has 4 places that it can take oil, 2 on each corner. Or, yeah, 2 on 2 of the corners. So 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. I can always just add another pipe that either brings heavy oil or takes it away for, depending on the needs at the time. So yeah, that's our little oil industry. Not exactly booming quite yet, but, you know, we'll get there. Collecting crude. Wow, this thing's almost full of crude already. That's, quite speedy. Why aren't you working? You should be working. Awesome. Well, I'm on this note, with our little booming new oil industry, I'm probably going to end the episode. Don't really have anything else particularly important to do, so I feel like it's a good time to end. Then next episode will probably be developing our oil industry into plastics and sulfur industry, because those are both byproducts of oil. Specifically light petroleum, so we're probably going to need a second oil refinery and queue one up. Well, I guess I'm not going to queue one up. I'll do that all next episode. So once again, like, share, subscribe, advise, idea, and enjoy this zoomed out view of my entire factory. From here, yep, you can see the whole thing. Remember how it used to be like 4 burners and a furnace just clustered around here? Yeah, automation is kind of cool. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye!